Here's how Illangelo builds iconic effect chains, used in some of the biggest hits by The Weeknd, Grimes, Post Malone, and many more. Illangelo has a series of guiding principles for effect sends that are part of his production philosophy. The first principle is, when possible, make the effect send's wet signal smaller in terms of frequencies than the dry signal. This can be achieved by low or high passing the wet signal to prevent it from masking the original sound. The second principle is to start adding effects only after the track is cleaned up and processed to your liking. Elements like reverb and delay are part of this stage, but more creative effects should be saved until the track has a solid foundation. The third principle is more practical. When dialing in the effects, always turn them up loud so you can hear exactly what they're doing. Then back them off to a level that feels right. You want to be able to feel the effects without hearing them directly. Let me give you an example. I'll turn this reverb up super loud, then begin backing it off until I can feel the impression of it in the mix, but can't hear it directly. Next, here are some examples of real-world effect chains from Illangelo's production on Post Malone's hit, I Fall Apart. Starting with the lead vocals, Illangelo uses 5 send effects. The first is a doubler effect, a trick for adding stereo width to the vocal. The second is a tape echo, utilizing a slap delay with a 16th note timing. The third is a short reverb, and the fourth is a long reverb. Finally, the fifth effect is a delay with only the mid-band of frequencies present, combined with modulation applied to a filter which adds movement to the repetitions. The vocal won't be sent to all of these effects throughout the entire track, but will instead utilize different effects for each section of the song via automation. This is what adds greater levels of movement and interest into your records. A great example of this is the send effects applied to the drums. The first 2 send effects for the drums are distortion plugins followed by tonal EQ. These are automated to switch on every other snare hit in the verses to provide contrast with the choruses. The next 2 send effects are reverbs, again for the snare. One reverb is active on every hit, while the second is triggered only for the last snare hit every 8 bars, providing a longer tail to mark the transition into a new section. If there's one thing I've learned from Illangelo, it's that he has automation running more often than not. Everything is always in motion, even subtly, to ensure each repetition of every section of a song is unique. For another mixing trick from Illangelo, check out this video on how he crafts spatial effects for wide mixes. Thank you for watching.